Cheetos-Flavored Macarons, we show you how to eat corn on the cob properly, and apparently milking means something different now. It's the Food Feeder. Well, our comment of the week goes to Bob Saget 823. By the way, Bob Saget, huge fan, thank you for watching. Who wrote, "God damn it, Japan." Also, Bob Saget, you spelled your name wrong. Here's something that probably shouldn't exist. Cheetos-Flavored Macarons. Yes, they're real, but I won't dwell on it too much or else those crazy "why would you eat that" guys are gonna come barging in feeding me Cheetos-Flavored Macarons, right? Sure don't want those "why would you eat that" guys to come in and feed me cheese-flavored macarons. Those "why would you eat that" guys sure aren't gonna come in and do that, clearly. Let's move on. Dairy farmers over in Europe are getting pretty pissed off over these milk quotas, requiring them to sell their milk for below the cost of production. So they sprayed thousands of liters of milk at the European Parliament in Brussels. This is either a form of protest or they're just jumping on that whole milking bandwagon. Not prostate milking, the other milking. First up on what's going to kill you this week, high fructose corn syrup. A new study finds a link between high fructose corn syrup and type 2 diabetes. The study was published in the Captain Obvious Gazette. It turns out that the average American consumes about 55 pounds of high fructose corn syrup every year, which is a shitload of high fructose corn syrup. Can I say shitload? I cannot say shitload. Now, while they did not conclude that consuming corn syrup directly leads to diabetes, they did find out that it's probably worse for you than regular sugar. After this study, I think I'd rather just get my diabetes from regular sugar, thank you very much. Just call me old-fashioned. Or better yet, bring me an old-fashioned. That sounds awesome. What else is gonna kill you this week? Fucking. No, porking. No, pork! Nailed it. Consumer Reports just did a report and found out that a frighteningly large amount of the ground pork and pork chop meat is contaminated. Now, in the report, these pork samples were taken from regular, everyday grocery stores, which means that basically nobody's safe. Even better, and by better I mean worse, they found that several strains of these pathogens are resistant to antibiotics, which means I think we're developing a super race of bored pig pathogen strains that are big enough to throw cars and kill your grandmother. What's gonna kill you this week would never be complete without a new story about salmonella. So here you go. A McDonald's in Bloomington, Illinois had to be shut down because a lot of cases of salmonella were traced back to it. Details are sketchy on just how many people have been affected by this salmonella outbreak, but it's a rare case where the strains of salmonella are actually transferred from person to person rather than through food. But on the plus side, McDonald's is excited because people are actually referring to McDonald's as food. Last up on what's gonna kill you this week, mushrooms. A nursing home in Northern California saw 4 of its residents die from eating a soup made from poisonous mushrooms. One of the caretakers actually picked the mushrooms from the backyard of the facility without realizing that they were poisonous. Mushroom poisoning can take 12 hours to fully come into effect, and it begins with vomiting and diarrhea, eventually leading to a coma, liver failure, and then death. It's moments like these when you really want to sit back and appreciate the time we have left on this earth, and not waste it by doing things like eat corn on the cob the wrong way. So, take a lesson from this guy.
Une drill, un blé d'Inde.
If you can't stand not having fried chicken between your departure gate and your arrival gate, I got good news for you. Japan Airlines is planning to serve Kentucky Fried Chicken on some of their flights leaving Tokyo. So watch your back, Saget 823. KFC is extremely popular in Japan, but the depressing part to me is that KFC is probably making airplane food better. It's shameless plug time, so I'm gonna tell you about a new show we have right here on Tasted called We're Drunk, Let's Eat, which is great because the title tells you everything you need to know about the show. It's got Spike from Top Chef and a whole lot of drinking and eating. So if you get sick of watching me, click right here and you can watch it yourself.
Get drunk and eat.
In other news, if you find yourself in Chattanooga, you can go to a new spot that opened up called Sofa King Juicy Burgers. That's Sofa King Juicy, not the one that's the sweary version of that. Hey, maybe they should call their place Sofa King Shamelessly Trying to Promote Something with a Terrible Pun Burger. Glazed or filled? Sweet or savory? Legs or breasts? These are the super important, life-altering questions we must ask ourselves every single day. By the way, my answers are glazed, savory, and leg. The tasting table has decided to take on this massively daunting task by creating the food fight of 2012. Since it's my job to know about this kind of stuff and bring you all the information you need, I sent someone else to do it for me. So if you want to go check it out, click right here. And finally, make sure that you subscribe to Tasted. And just to clarify, if you subscribe, it doesn't cost you any money, we don't send you a billion emails. It just means that when you log onto YouTube on your phone or your computer or anywhere else, you get the newest up-to-date videos that we're putting out over here on Tasted. So push that subscribe button and you will be subscribed. Well guys, I'm Noah Galutin. You can follow me on Twitter at @Galutin and catch me every Friday right here on the Food Feeder.
Follow Kevin Gillespie to Chef Dale Talday's Pork Slope for a bite of his Porky Melt, a cheddar bratwurst starring bacon's favorite cousin, the sausage. Plucked from the leaves of mopani trees, mopani worms are a typical African snack. Find out what they taste like on Why Would You Eat That? In this special episode of Taste Explosions, get the director's bird's eye view and go behind the scenes as we prep elaborate foods, then blow them up slow-mo style. Watch Noah and Why Would You Eat That's Michael Truly sample the holiday season's worst flavored vodkas. Then fill your own glass for a farewell salute to the Twinkie. Subscribe for more free tasted treats.